Hello, everybody. It's your old pal Joe with the 163, and I got another video for you here that I hope you'll enjoy. My name is Joe Owens. I am a lifelong learner, solutions architect, Scrum Master, and a product owner. I carry certifications and as a product owner, and as a Scrum Master, and as a Safe Six practitioner. I have numerous technical and architectural certifications both in AWS and in Microsoft Azure. I am passionate about Agile, artificial intelligence, data science, generative AI. Today, we're going to be talking about the Microsoft Copilot and Scrum. I've developed a Microsoft Copilot chatbot that integrates into MS Teams and is designed to streamline the creation of Scrum User Stories. The chatbot guides users through a structured series of prompts, gathering essential elements like the story title, user persona, actions, and desired outcomes. Once the information is collected, it automatically generates a complete user story and seamlessly posts it to a Kanban board, enhancing collaboration, productivity for Agile teams. Here's the agenda. We're going to take a look at the Scrum Copilot. I'm going to do an overview. I'm going to show you the knowledge that it has, the topics that's part of it, and then I'm going to go through how I build it. I'll do the request from Teams, and then I'll show you that it goes into the Kanban board. So let's go ahead and get started. Here is our Scrum Copilot. Let's zoom in a little bit so you can see it a little better. This is just a general overview and the topics. We're going to go into a little more detail. First, let's take a look at the knowledge. So to be able to make sure that the Copilot understood what Scrum is, how a user story is formatted, I've added several text files of information so that it can understand. The important feature is the user persona text. That text has several types of users, a description of what they are, what they could do, and what their knowledge is as an information worker. This has been very, very helpful in helping people write stories that are consistent with the individual that they're writing it for. So here's our topics. I use the goodbye, the greeting, the start over, and the thank you. This is the story or Scrum story generator. You zoom in on this a little bit, we'll go through the steps that I've created for it. The first thing we do is a trigger. The phrases like write a story, write a user story, I want to create a user story, will trigger and it'll go to the next question. And you can see this question here. Let me expand on this. It's going to first say, great, I can help you with that. You will need the following information. So it's going to go over the information that you need, what you should have handy and ready to go. Then it's going to ask you if, go back up here, it's going to ask you if you're ready. And once it validates you're ready, it's got a couple of conditions here. If you type in something or hit something that it doesn't understand, it's going to go to all other conditions and it's going to say, sorry, I don't understand. Let's try again. If you say no, it's going to say, okay, let me know when you're ready. And it's going to go back to the conversation starter and end the topic. If you say yes, then it's going to come down here. It's going to ask you a question. It's going to ask you what title the user story is. It's going to save that as a variable. Then it's going to ask what is the user persona? What type of user is this story for? This is where the personas have been brought in. You can see this is a banking example. We have a personal banking customer, a small business owner, a wealth management client, a bank teller, and a financial advisor. And then we're saving that as a variable called user type 01. It's going to ask to describe what the user wants. Take the entire response and save it as a variable in the action. Then it's going to ask, what's the outcome? It's going to save that as a variable. It's going to give a message saying, here's your story, and it's going to give it to you like this. Let me expand this out. So using the variables, it's going to say the story title is variable. Here's our user type. Here's the action, and here's the outcome from the variables. It's going to verify that your story meets your requirements. Is this what you're looking for? Yes or no. If you hit no, it's going to try and work with you again. If you say yes, it is going to ask you if you would like to add this to the project. Now, the project is a Kanban board, which has been created in SharePoint Online. It's asking if you would like to add this to that project. If you say no, then it just says thanks. If you say anything else, it's just going to say I don't understand. But if you say yes, it's going to come down here and it's going to call an action in Power Automate. It's going to take all of the user input. It's going to format it. It's going to send it to the Kanban board. Then it's going to respond and say that it got everything done. I went through that pretty fast, but I think you'll be able to get it. Let's bring up our Scrum Copilot. Let's ask it to write a story. It's going to ask us for a story title, a persona, what the user wants to achieve, and explain what it wants in this feature. Highlight the value or the benefits. And it's going to ask if we're ready to go. We're going to say yes. All right, so what's the title of the story? And we're going to say, it'll be very simple. Deposit money. I'm going to be a personal banking customer. And I want to deposit payroll check. Checking account. I can have funds you use later. There you go. It's written the story, deposit money. The story is, as a personal banking customer, I want to deposit my payroll check into my checking account so that I can have funds to use later. It's going to ask us if that meets a requirement. We're going to say yes. See right down here, it's doing a little bit of thinking. Now it's going to ask me if you want to put this on the Kanban board. So I am going to show you that Kanban board right now. This is it. And you can see that there are no items in it whatsoever, right? We are going to go back here and we are going to say yes. Now let's call on the Power Automate action, and it's saying that the item has been created. Let's do a refresh, and there it is. So the story is deposit money, the type is for the banking customer, there's the action, there's the outcome. I automatically put it in a needs refined category. From here, we could move it to wherever we want to do. Once it's refined, it's in progress or complete. The use case that I see for this is allowing the product team, the development team, maybe somebody at the C-suite or vice president level to be able to have this bot in their teams. And whenever they have an idea or a thought of something that they think might be a good feature to add to the tool, they could just go here very quickly, type it all in, and send it to a board like this. This can be referenced later when you're going through your sprint planning, or you're doing your backlog grooming, or you're going through your program increment planning. You can have conversations that say that there were several of these added by some other folks that have more direct contact with the customer than we do, and there's some good ideas here, but it's a good place to start having discussions about what we need to do with the tool, and it's coming from more than just one source. We're enabling other people inside the organization to have input on how this application works. The more input we have, I think the better we do. And it also goes really well with team building, because everyone feel like they're part of the team because they'll have a place where they can do input. And that's very valuable. So that's the demo. I hope you enjoyed it. It took me a little while to figure it out and to learn it. I did notice some grammar errors in there, and I apologize for that. Honestly, before this demo, I should have gone through and checked and made sure everything was cool, but oh well, live and learn. I want to thank everybody for attending. You can find me just about everywhere. You can see all the links here of all the social media stuff that I belong to. I certainly invite you to look me up on LinkedIn. I spend a lot of time there. I have a lot of great discussions with a lot of other great folks that are there, and I would love to include you. So if you got any questions or just want to have a conversation, please don't hesitate to give me a shout. Thank you very much and have a great day.